Hey everyone, how's it going? Just give it a couple seconds here for everybody to trickle in. I see some familiar names on here. I love it. All right, awesome. We'll go ahead and get started here with respect here for Chris's time. So thank you
Oh,
everybody for joining us today. This is going to be a really exciting way to kick off our new interview series here. And we
oh,
have
you're
such
starting with
a
me. That's a shame.
oh, we
Sorry.
have such a legend here with us. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. So Chris, if you want to kind of kick off and go ahead and tell us about yourself and your position at Kaufman Lynn.
How's everybody doing? I can't see you, which is good, probably even better. Which is actually really good. I'm the executive vice president here at Kaufman Lynn. I've been here for about 2 years now. Prior to that, I was with Coastal Construction for about 18 years, and then I had other stints with Stiles and Suffolk. I head up the entire estimating department here at Kaufman Lynn. We're doing somewhere around $700 million in revenue through the year. We do everything from multifamily, public works, commercial, you name it. We have offices in the East Coast of Florida, West Coast of Florida. We've done jobs up as north as Gainesville, and then we also have an office in North Carolina. And
That's
so,
awesome. Crushing it. Chris, obviously you're a great friend of Togal, and we so appreciate your time here with us today. But I did want to mention it was such an honor to work with you at your last place. We were so sad to see you go, and thank you for being just still such a great friend to us. Awesome. So I'm sure a lot of other pre-construction people here listening to us today would also like to know how you initially got started in the world of Precon.
well, this goes way back. As you can tell by the gray hairs, I've been doing this for a while, and I used to be the young guy, which is really kind of sad. Is you all of a sudden you wake up one day and you go, God, I'm no longer the young person in the room. I'm the old guy. I went to school at the University of Oklahoma I graduated in 90. That's 1990 for all those millennials and Gen Zs out there. We were before the 2000. Got my degree in construction science. Was actually going to be an architect for a long time, and then switched to my
Wow.
major. Realized I didn't want to draw toilets for the rest of my life. And actually liked and had a love for construction itself. I preferred it. I was in that field prior to college. And then I decided I wanted to be into the construction. Originally thought I'd be probably a project manager, something of that nature. But as I continued into the field of construction, I really actually enjoyed the drawing side. I guess that's where my architecture kind of drew me back. I really enjoyed how projects and things evolved. So I got into the estimating, and really from that, it just kind of snowballed and continued to grow from there. It's just, that's one of the good things for anybody that's out there about construction is you don't have to be just project manager. There's superintendents, there's pre-construction, there's a whole host of different aspects of construction, and they're growing yearly. Things, risk management, safety, stuff of that nature in the business. But like I said, I gravitated more to the drawings and how the deals were kind of put together, and kind of see it. Although I will say this, I think one of the biggest things for all those people out there that are doing this, don't not go out to the field and see your projects. Don't be like me, where all of a sudden you go, God, that job's done. I might need to go see it. So sometimes seeing it in 3D is really kind of awesome. So definitely do not do what I do. Do not have regret of not going out and see your projects. Go out there, look at them. They're awesome.
I love that. I love that natural transition too, just from design to pre-con. Super, super awesome.
Now I just
Uh,
torture architects. That's part of my daily.
don't we all?
Mm.
I, you talked about such a vast amount of time there when you were giving that rundown. How have you seen the pre-construction industry change over your years?
Well, to be honest with you, we didn't change a whole lot for a long, long time. Um, you know, construction, the industry as a whole is and kind of still is pretty archaic. We're one of if you I think if there's a few articles out there that says how construction has the least amount of change than any other industry in the world. And
Yeah.
but here recently with, the advent of AI and stuff of that nature, we really have kind of exploded. I mean, for all those people that are old like me, I mean, we used to do our takeoffs literally like, okay, here's a building, measure it out, do multiplication, and would have to actually do it by hand. Then the advent of a digital board where you would just pop it and you'd have this little tiny screen that would tell you, what you just took off, and you had to write it down because if you didn't, it wouldn't remember it. It wouldn't have that advent at all.
Wow.
And if you get stopped or paused, you would forget where you were. You have to start all over again. And then obviously we moved on to things where we have OST started where you were able to upload drawings and you can pop it off. And then obviously today, which is really exciting. And I'd have to say the infancy of Togal. And I say that with a great admiration for Togal, because I think the best is yet to come, to be honest with you, for Togal, is because it's a learning program. Now you put it in, and now you're not spending all your time doing all that work. You're letting the program do it, and now you are becoming the manager that you're supposed to be, and verifying, checking it, adjusting, in which is a much shorter amount of time. So it's
Yeah.
so to answer your question, which I have a tendency not to answer right off the bat,
Are
is
you a politician? I'm just kidding.
no, just an estimator. When you ask us what time it is, we tell you how the watch was made. That's our MO. But it's changed a lot, and it's going to change a lot more.
Would old Chris ever believe you were using AI today?
No, no, no,
Crazy.
no, no.
Crazy
Yeah, I mean,
times here.
I could go back to how bad computers were when I first started. Like
Yeah.
really, really, really slow. So.
Yeah. Wondering if you could just maybe briefly touch on any trends or challenges that you're seeing for our industry as a whole specifically.
I would say easy in a word is people. It's getting qualified people, it's getting them trained, and then it's retaining them. To be honest with you, there are not very many people in our industry and then as you go down, there's even less in estimating. And so right now, one of our challenges, the biggest challenge, and I don't think this is not for everybody, can say the same thing, is getting the right people and making sure you're making them the best they can be. And it is not doing the little things that are just time consuming, and continuing to teach them and continuing to showing them a growth pattern. But I think that's a worldly thing about
Yeah.
taking care of people. But our industry definitely has our challenges because there's not very many of us, which unfortunately
Super
means you guys
true.
have to deal with me for a long time. So
Yes, no, and we hear that across the board from a lot of our clients. They tell us about the difficulty in attracting, hiring, and keeping their estimators specifically. Is there anything that you guys are doing at Kaufman Lynn? Shoot them a nice little plug here. You guys are doing to hold on to your team, and anything you could give us today.
no, I'm not telling you a thing. That I'd be giving away all the secrets. No, no, I'd say for Kaufman Lynn, one of the true strengths are the obvious, which everyone, if you don't know, Kaufman Lynn is an ESOP company, employee owned, and to be honest with
Love
you, that
that.
really exciting stuff happens with it, and a lot of more exciting things are to come. And then the other thing is honestly is we are trying to really work on everybody's growth pattern, give them their career outline. We're trying to create something so that people have the ability for them to push themselves in an accountability sort of way to move their growth through the years. I want people to push me to saying, I want the next step. I want the next step. To me, that's a great employee. And the only way for that to happen is if we and the management set that up. And it's difficult. And, sometimes we're good and sometimes we're not good. We keep plugging away.
Yeah, no, and I love that. It's a really great advantage and benefit, and a really good idea for everybody to retain some great people, because it's what we all want.
It's very hard. It is very hard right now to retain people.
Yeah.
And when you lose them, it's even harder to replace them.
Yes, it's even worse.
Yeah.
What advice would you have, if any, for young estimators entering this field and looking to grow into what you are today?
Hurry up and take my job. I'm tired. I want to retire. Okay, please. No. The big thing is I'd say, and you know what? What works for me will not work for you. Okay. And you're unique and you're different, and that's good. And find out the things that you're strong at. And I'll tell you this, continue to work on them. Don't let that be something that you don't stop. Like for myself, as you can tell by my mannerisms and where I go, my fast pace, the way I talk, I have what I call CDO, which is OCD in alphabetical order. You have to, if that's what you're strong at, keep making it strong. Then go find out the things that you're not so great at, or things, and you need to slow down and talk, and you work on them and hold yourself accountable to that. And you know what? You start grinding. Guess what? I hate to tell, if you are young and getting ready to do this, just working alone it's a grind. You're running a marathon. You are.
Yeah.
It's not, it's day by day. And then you take the things as they come at you, and you deal with them the best you can. You bring in all the resources and things that you can, people, and you try to figure it out. And then you just keep moving forward.
Never underestimate hard work.
Exactly.
Yes.
But work smarter, not harder. That is like in the background, because that's what we did. That's what the old people in the room, we'll just outwork it and outwork it. And today, the tools that are out there, you can work smarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this also, the younger generation has a much better grasp of this technology. You got to be teaching us old guys how to use it. Like, I've got all the experience. I know what, and it's so funny when this sounds kind of braggadocious, but anybody that says they have experience just means they've lost a lot of money by getting it wrong one time. And those that have a lot of experiences will tell you about every one of those stories will be about how they lost money. And trust me, a lot of money has been lost. So, but the young ones, please come in here and show us how we can be faster, have better quality, and then obviously ultimately, reduce our liabilities.
Yeah. I love that. And in the spirit of that answer, I think it segues perfectly. And how do you see technology helping pre-construction in the future? Specifically with the development and growth of AI that we're seeing right now.
Well, that's your question. That's for you. You need to tell me. You guys.
You want me to tell you?
You guys are supposed to come up with the next big tool that's supposed to figure it out for us. That chat GBT, and I'm sure I'm even saying the letters wrong. And AI and all this.
Shameless plug for Togal.GPT. If you're a Togal user, go check it out. That's our integration with ChatGPT.
And just by the way, they told me about it. I haven't used it because I am that old guy.
We'll get you a training, Chris. I know somebody.
I'll tell you, this is how far removed I am. I do my square footage takeoffs even faster than Togal does, because I just yell out my estimator's name and they walk in the door and they go, here you go. But I need to get them to the next level. So no, it's, embrace it. It's coming. You better, if you're not learning every day, you're getting left behind, period. And trust me, when I hear my estimators walk in the door, and if I hear them talking about, well, this guy, I know how to do it, and I know, their bid is wrong. Without even looking at it, I know it's wrong, because if they're set, oh, this is how it was, it's changing. Okay, how can we do it different? How we can do it better? How can we do it faster? You think about it, you hear about things like the Empire State Building got built in 1930, but it got estimated in like 4 weeks. It's Empire State Building. Well, they had literally 75 people working on it, because it was during the Great Depression. Labor was cheap. Now it's completely reversed now. Now, labor is not cheap. And now we do buildings that are 10 times more expensive with 4 people.
Yep.
Think about that. That's pretty insane, and it's awesome at the same point. And that's how it's the evolution of it is that you're going to do more with less.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to live. Well, last question here. We're coming up on our time, and I appreciate it so much. But last but not least, I couldn't not ask.
I assume all these people are like work release programs. Usually they have to come in and come to this meeting. No, good.
Well, for anybody that missed this is going up on YouTube. Yeah. I'll add this last question to you. What have you and your team at Kaufman Lynn liked the most about Togal, and what positives have you seen since you've become users?
Well, the best thing about it is just if people are the business's best commodity, time is theirs, right? And so the very simple thing of taking away something that is hours, days of work, which is not getting the brain to be active, if you will, and have the ability to do critical thinking, it's just wasted time. So with Togal coming in there and then getting it done quickly for them, where they can get it, boom, and it feels almost instant, where they can now dive into the plans. They're understanding and really absorbing what the project is, being able to do a product faster. Now I can spend more time doing training, learning, scoping, even better, getting on the phone and talking to subs and getting better numbers. So, it's putting your time in the right place. And then as a businessman, okay, I don't have to hire 10 small estimators to that's all they're doing. And by the way, they'll get bored. They'll leave, because that's all they're doing. And it's hard to grow them. So if I can get a good group, we can grow them. We can continue it and continue moving. So it's just the evolution of it. I think Togal is really kind of is continuing to evolve. I remember when we first put the drawings out, they only did certain amount of things, and every so many weeks I get it. Hey, by the way, now it does this. Hey, now it does that.
You've been there from the start. Yeah.
Now it does that. Well, yeah. For all those that don't know, I was there when they were asking me to go, okay, what does this mean when you see this on the drawing? And I had to make up stories. So if anything's wrong with Togal, it's because I made up a story. No,
you heard it here first.
Yes, it's my fault. I mean, it's an estimator, right? That's our inheritance. It's always our fault, right? So.
Yep. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for those kind words and for your time today. You and Kaufman Lynn, your usership means so much to us here at Togal. So thank you, Chris. We really couldn't thank you enough. Thank you, everybody, for joining our podcast today. And we wish you a wonderful holiday weekend.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye, guys.